All right. So we are here. I don't know if anybody. We got 3 concurrent viewers, 0 total right now. But
Yeah, give it a minute.
yeah, we'll give them a minute. Let them roll in.
Yep.
Man. So, what are you guys excited for the season this year with reffing more full time now?
Honestly, after doing Nash, Champs is probably the footage review thing we're talking about tonight.
Yeah.
That's probably going to be my favorite change of it all.
You're not alone in that one.
Yeah. Well, it's me and you that really have to deal with it. Ethan's kind of involved in that.
Yeah.
But it's really me and you 99% of the time. So it's a big thing for us. For somebody like Aiden that's just a field ref, it's not going to be too crazy. He's not even going to know. He's just going to be like, I'm just going to go drink water in the break room.
I'm just going to throw flags at people. That's it.
I'm going to throw reds and call people out.
Yep. A lovely life to live.
Yeah, that. Oh.
Wanna see me chicken?
That's one of my players.
Yeah. I can't even see viewer count.
Yeah. I did the pop-out chat to see the participants.
Yeah. I think I can do that.
Oh,
we got Neo in the house.
Neo.
Yeah. Neo. There we go. There we go. All right. I got the pop-out chat now.
My camera's like phasing in and out.
Yeah, it's because I think your hat is screwing it up.
Yeah.
You just go to the white background.
There you go.
Fixed. Problem solved.
Yeah, it's like my pop filter on my microphone just
it's just gone.
Just hides things.
It's a green screen now, dude.
All right. Well, I think we're good to go ahead and get started here.
I think we're good.
So some big changes. You guys have that document. We're probably not going to go in order. We'll leave the footage review one for the last one. Between that. But couple changes that are going on. We'll start with the easiest one. GoPro hits are no longer majors. They're just minors with no DQ involved in that one. Still on you to know that you got hit on the GoPro, but we're not counting those as majors anymore. They're just going to be a minor, so I know some of the refs are upset about that one. They love throwing those majors, but yeah, one person's upset about it, but
that
I know of.
I think that's like a need though. Like after Champs, there was like a couple people that were like, there were 2 people or whatever that got DQ'd for headshot, and it was questionably GoPro.
Yeah,
it was that in between where it's real hard, and it makes it. I have to throw a red, but it makes it if I can't. If it looks like it tipped the GoPro, I can throw a minor and not have to DQ somebody for something they can't feel. That I mean, in reality, your head is like right here. Yeah. So it does make that part, I think, a little bit better for the player feel and for us refs not having to get in arguments, but like the not get in arguments, but the more of like, this is why you're DQ'd, even though it's your GoPro.
Yeah. Yeah. It also prevents that internal struggle as a ref. Like, do I throw the was that a DQ headshot? Should I just throw the minor? It's now outlined. It's if it looks like it hit the GoPro. If you think it hit the GoPro, it's just a minor. No more having to kind of figure that out on the fly for the refs.
Yeah, because that hesitation makes it so then no flags thrown, which
Yep.
is worse.
Yeah, which is worse. Yep, definitely worse.
Mm-hmm.
Other change we're doing is we're kind of doing like a quick start round. We're going to try to stick to the schedule. Like at Champs, I was able to sit up there and kind of just monitor the schedule in the games and keep the flow going. We're hoping this year that we don't fall behind schedule, so that posted schedule with your start time, it'll say, game starts at 10:30. That's when we will start the 10-second countdown. But if you guys all get out there and it's 10:28 and both teams are completely touched up on the bunkers ready to go, I will start that 10-second counter early. It will not start late unless we fall behind schedule. And however many minutes we're behind schedule, that's when it will start. So if we're 10 minutes behind and your game says 10:30, it's going to start at 10:40. You'll be made aware of that some way.
In between rounds, probably.
In between rounds, we'll let you know. It'll be known how far behind we are, so you can kind of work that out with, captains can work that out with their team and stuff like that. That one should be a good one for help getting through games much faster and much more consistently.
Well, the hope is if we can, let's say we do fall behind by like 5 minutes, and both teams are ready 5 minutes ahead of time.
Yeah,
now we're back on schedule.
Yep, we can hopefully get back on schedule with that one without having to eat into referee breaks, because that's what we were doing at Champs to try to catch back up, not be as far behind as we were.
Not good.
Is we were kind of eating into our ref breaks in between the rounds, kind of shortening those times, which is not good for them. I know the players. You got there, you play a game, and then you sit for a while, but the refs are out there all day in it. So that 20-minute break that we're now going to have there is much appreciated for them. Lets them get some water. We were only doing that for some of the people that we were hiring to do that. Now we don't have to. We can reduce it to 20. If we get one of those, they just sit out the extra 10 minutes. So, yep.
I just heard that. 2 days ago that we were doing 30, so that's a good thing, because I know a lot of the guys that are in our league already knew that we had talked about it last season that we were switching to 30s because of we had younger refs, but now that's good.
Yeah,
really
now
good.
The majority of our refs aren't younger anymore, so we no longer need to have that 30-minute break in between rounds. We can reduce that down to 20, and when we go over the footage review process, you'll see why it's 20 minutes. It's kind of necessitates that one. The big thing, we'll go ahead and move on to that then. With the footage review, we're limiting it to you have 3 coins, tokens. We haven't quite ironed out what we're going to use for that, but you'll have team captains will be given something that they will have that will monitor how many footage reviews they have available, almost like a challenge in the NFL. We noticed the reason we're implementing the limit there is we noticed that people were sort of just looking for something in their footage after the end of it to find a penalty. The intent of that rule was like, you know exactly where you're going and what you're looking for. And that's where the 10 minutes comes in, is you should know what point it was, which player it was, what side of the field they were on, where it was. It was something that a referee missed or something like that. So we're implementing the 3 footage reviews. So if you bring one, you find one, you bring it to your team captain, he says, good, go ahead, take it to the head refs. You go put your coin in the basket, whatever we're going to do to showcase that in the 10 minutes. Then at the end of that 10 minutes, myself and G will go and review it. If we determine that there is no point to be overturned, you do not get that token back, and you now only have 2 more footage reviews. So that's to kind of go back into that intent of you for sure that that it was a hit. You're not wasting. You're not taking time away. I won't say wasting, but you're not taking time away from the break for something that's not quite sure. And it should help smooth things over a lot in those breaks.
Yeah. Because last time in champs, and I'll talk about this because a lot of the players may have seen this that were in our season, but didn't really notice what impact it had. So at champs, which was the first event where we had pretty much all staff that weren't entities of Shot Zone and SXL already. Obviously Aiden, myself, Seeker, and Rainbow, along with Akimbo, and I forget who else.
Yeah.
But a lot of us didn't get to eat that day because between the breaks being sped up, me and Jordan going through footage left and right from people just trying to find something like, hey, does this work?
Yeah.
We didn't get to eat, which led to a lot of the refs towards about the midday point getting, I wouldn't use the word lazy, but definitely being a little bit more out of focus because their energy's low. I mean, that's anybody.
They're getting fatigued.
Mhm.
Yeah. If you don't, if you work out or are sweating for 6 hours and don't have anything to eat, you're going to start kind of getting foggy. And that's what we kind of noticed at that point. And it's no one's fault. It's just we had to make a change so that way that doesn't happen.
Yes.
And that's this.
Yeah. So that's the kind of the 3 footage review limit. I kind of went in a little bit of the process of it. We'll go more. So the teams will have the first 10 minutes of the break to bring it, to find the footage and bring it to the headrest attention. In some way, we haven't quite ironed out how this is all going to be worded and exactly how it's going to work. We have the framework, though. You have that first 10 minutes to find the footage you're using. When I say find, I don't mean go searching for it, but you know what you're looking for to get your footage. Take your coin, and this is per footage review. So if you have 2 footage reviews for 1 point, you got to bring both coin. You got to bring 2 coins. Bring your coin up or whatever it is. Put it where the designated area will be. It'll be kind of different at each field. And then at the end of that 10 minutes, no more exceptions for that can be done. Then the remaining 10 minutes of that break is when myself and G will then take, if it's on your laptop, whatever it's on, we will take that device with us, go somewhere where it is just me and him. We will review the footage, deliberate, and then decide what we're going to do from there. If there's a point overturn or nothing happens, you don't get your token back, we'll come back and let you know. And that's just to allow both me and him to at least have some sort of break, because we know that of that 20-minute break, we're at least getting 10 minutes.
Yes. And with that, what the cool part about that will be is that you guys will also have 10 minutes to have the footage clipped and ready to go. So this should be quick. When we go to deliberate, it should be quick, because if we're taking your laptop, your phone, anything like that, that's an electronic device with it on it, you should be able to have it clipped out, whether it's in the GoPro app, whether it's in Premiere Pro, whatever. I've seen quite a bit of editing footage that people are using now. You should be able to cut that clip to exactly what you want us to see, because we're not going to scrub footage anymore. We're not doing that anymore. If you bring us a big line of footage and we don't know what you're looking for, we're just going to tell you no.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we'll look at it, but I can tell you in the 10 minutes there, if you bring me a big line of footage and I've got 4 others I got to look at, and the other ones are shorter, I'm going to start with those and then get on to yours.
Yeah.
And you've got 10 minutes. So this isn't 10 minutes to find, have it, clip it, edit it, bring it to us, and us to review it. This is 10 minutes for you to find it, clip it, have it edited and brought to us, and then we have the remaining 10 minutes to review it.
Right.
So you actually end up now having more time to get your footage prepared for us, so that way it's faster for us to review it.
And we're not just standing over you now with being like waiting for you guys to get it to the perfect point.
Yeah, you should already have it ready to go, what you want us to see, and hand it to us. And with that, you don't need to go explaining kind of what it is. If we have any questions about it, we'll come ask you. Because that can, we're trying to prevent the whole putting a bias into it as much as we can prevent that. That was another thing I've had where people would say, they would show me something and they're like, oh yeah, I got this one where he's here and it hits him here on his gun. So then it kind of already points me in that direction of what I need to be looking for. And and I don't like that personally. So when you bring it to us, we'll just say, okay, this is against, what match was this for you? Because we might not remember. If you want to be helpful, just say, oh yeah, this is when, Team A, Team B went to, played each other on this one. And then Ethan just put in the chat there, yeah, try to have the timestamp on the stream as well, to confirm that the player didn't call himself out.
Yeah, we had problems with that at Champs, where people would peek into their bunker, they'd shoot somebody, they'd peek into their bunker, and they'd think that the person just didn't call it when they were just not slow walking out, but had gone a different route where the player just can't see them.
Yeah, and then another player filled
yeah.
that position, and they thought they didn't call themselves out.
Correct. So having that also alerts us that this player did stay in. So if we do see anything, it's concrete. Yep. It's got to be concrete this season. There's got to be no questions asked. No.
Yep.
Trajectory. We said this last season. We're not tracking the trajectory of BBs and none of that.
Yeah, we got to see. I got to see. I got to see it hit, bounce off.
Turn your frame rate up.
Yes, you can bring me 720p quality. The quality isn't the issue. It's the frame rate. Whatever camera you're using, get the highest frame rate possible you can, because 60 FPS does not cut it, really, with how fast these BBs are going. There's a couple of people I saw, they had it in like 4K 30, and you can see it. I mean, you can see it in the video. It looks like it would have hit him, but because of the frame rate, in the time it took to hit and bounce away, it's missed. It's lost. And I can't rule on that because I didn't see it hit him in the footage. But yeah,
encouraging run cams and GoPros as always.
Yep. I encourage the run cams for Shot Zone, which is one of the larger fields we'll be at. The 40 millimeter is really all you need. If you get the other one, I think, what is it, the larger zoom lens?
Yeah, the one that I ran for a while.
Yeah, the higher zoom, it ends up getting too blurry when you get up close. I mean, if you're a player that just sits in the back and doesn't go anywhere else, that's a great one. But if you're expecting to be in other places on the field, you definitely only need the 40 millimeter. It's plenty of zoom to see, off the break miss, if, something happened off the break, if you're, back corner to back corner, down tape, whatever, cross field, it's enough to see. And then the last change is the league fees. I know that's one that some people have asked a lot of questions about, and kind of what inspired me to want to do this was to discuss that and kind of what they're for. The league fees are to pay us three and the other ref staff. That way, whatever field we're going to is not having to worry about paying for a ref staff. You're not getting different refs every time. With that, being that I'm one of the head refs along with G, we're going to be a lot stricter on what we expect out of our refs. We're not going to let them sort of, I won't say we were letting them get away with things, but we were being a little bit more lenient in how we were disciplining them and making sure they were on task. But this year that won't be an issue. And a lot of the reasons we were that is they were getting less breaks, weren't able to eat, so we kind of had to let that slide. But hopefully with the new rules that we're implementing here, that won't be an issue anymore. And that's paying for the ref staff, paying for us to travel, to go to GG, to go to Tampa, down to CIA, paying for them to come into Shot Zone, because not all of us live close by to it. I think I'm the only one that lives close by to it.
You are the only Indy resident of our ref staff.
Yeah.
You've all the rest of us are states away.
Yeah.
For me, I'm up north, so it's even, I guess Aiden is too. He's not as far north as I am, but it's a flight to Tampa and like wherever we're staying for 3 or 4 days, and food, all that kind of stuff, Ubers to get back and forth from the field. That stuff adds up very quickly. I mean, we did that for Nashville, where it was not out of our pockets, but it was definitely like we had only brought 3 refs, and it was 4 refs, and Ethan had brought most of them in the truck from Indiana.
Yeah.
But for me, I had to fly down to Nashville 2 weeks
Well,
before or a week before 4th of July, and those tickets were not cheap.
yeah, I would say I was in Charlotte at the time, so I drove out from Charlotte, North Carolina, like a 10-hour drive.
Yeah.
It's not easy to do that. I mean, I know you guys travel too, but it's different when you're traveling to go play. It's not as I would say it's not as hard.
There's much more excitement going.
It's
into
much more
that,
excitement going
8-hour
into
drive.
that 8-hour drive when you're getting to go compete and play versus going to ref. Not that I hate refing at all, but it's I would much rather do it.
Get shot at.
Yeah.
For
Ooh, I get to throw
12 hours.
flags. Woohoo!
Yeah. That's why we like throwing flags. You know, like of course we want to see you guys play clean, but you know that's another thing that we have is like it's like man we're kind of like it's this weird double-edged sword where we're like we want you guys to play clean, but it's like when you play clean, why am I here? Why did I just drive 10 hours?
To make sure that
Yeah.
they have that thought that if they don't play clean, we throw
Right.
red flags.
Yep.
Especially
So-
this one. This one loves throwing reds.
Oh, he's on your other side for me on the stream.
Oh, he's on the other side?
Yeah,
Oh,
he's over there.
here?
Yeah, he's
Even
over there.
Even more.
Mm.
Dude, if you wanna see some pure Aiden reffing, go watch Snake at Champs.
Oh yeah.
He's behind players, and I just see flags come out because I'm on D side, just flags. This is why we're doing all this. The league fees, everything is because what we did at Champs compared to tournaments before worked so well. We
Yeah.
had so much more interaction in terms of the refs actually doing their jobs because they weren't kids. We had a lot of kids. Kids did good to start this up, but now it's time to really we're getting into a serious point where
Yeah.
we need refs that are paid to be here. They have an obligation. If they don't do their obligation, they don't get paid. They don't work for us anymore, whatever the case may be. And that leads a lot more into the accountability of the refs for the events as well.
Yeah.
Compared to, the kids just, if they wanted to blow it off, I won't say that they could, but there wasn't as much because they weren't getting they were getting paid, but not like this.
Yeah.
Not to travel, not to do all this. We are just solely there, not to get paid, obviously, but to ref. We have no other obligations, no other anything. We are brought by the league as impartials to come and ref this, and it made Champs, in my opinion, and in a lot of teams that I talk to, a lot better.
Yeah.
And these league fees are the only way that it is possible to get somebody like me from Michigan, Aiden from Chicago, Sarge from Indiana, to go to GG Sports Park, Tampa, all these different things. That is the only way that is possible. Or else you guys would be scrambling for refs and it wouldn't be as good of a tournament. And we don't want anybody feeling like they got robbed or anything like that just because of a bad call. So the more refs that are trained and the more refs that see the most out of this league are going to be able to not have that happen.
That was another thing that we have. I know as we bring people in, me and Ethan sat down and created like a written test for when we want to when somebody wants to be a referee, they have to score a certain amount on the written test. And it's not so much, a lot of the questions on there aren't just, where you can just read the rule book and get the answer. It's a lot of judgment call questions and sort of trick call questions where there's two answers that could be correct. And it's just trying to see where their mindset is as a referee so we can see if they're good enough to bring on.
Yeah, there's a lot more going into this for the players on the ref end this year.
Yeah.
And that's why rules are being made this time. Like the GoPro change is very minor compared to quick starting and footage review process getting completely reworked this season.
Yeah.
And the fees, honestly, I've said this a couple times, and I know we have a lot of paintball players that play inside of our league as well. This is standard for most leagues, guys, and I know that we had some kickback, but this is pretty standard for a lot of leagues in paintball, which is the only thing that we're really comparable to. So I feel like it's not too bad. I get where people have come from, that obviously events are expensive. But that's part of this, guys. And I think that everybody knows that walking into this. At least I hope so.
Yeah, I was going to say, even if we don't even compare it to paintball, any other, hobby sport has league fees. I casually play disc golf and watch tournaments and whatnot, and they have, leagues and disc golf clubs that you got to pay yearly memberships to in order to compete in certain tournaments and events. Even on their Pro Tour side of it, they have a Pro Tour card that you have to purchase in order to compete in the Pro Tour. Now, I know that those guys are getting paid a decent amount of money from sponsors and stuff like that, but it's sort of the standard, with any sort of league-based sport out there. Be it you can look at, car racing, golf, paintball, whatever. They all have, rec league basketball. You still pay a league fee for your rec league team. Even though at the end of the day, you're not walking away with any money or anything from it. You might get, a fancy little trophy at the end of the league, if you're lucky.
If you're lucky.
Yeah, because there's some rec ball leagues I've seen that don't even do that. They just, it's just a regular season league, and then at the end of the day, they go, oh, you win.
That's why so Lone Wolf said that's why we need sponsors to step up. That is on the team. I mean,
yeah, it's on the team.
God.
Yeah, that's on the team to, get rid of their sponsors. Mention, hey, as a selling point too, that you can tell them, you can say that all the events that we do are live streamed. And so that's, something there that will exposure for the brand on your jerseys and whatnot. That is, another thing you can mention to them as well.
Incentivize.
Yep. Yeah. Incentivize them with that. So I think that's it. Do we have any questions?
Yeah. Now is the Q&A part. If you have any questions about stuff for just the rules overall, if you have any questions about what we just talked about, anything like that, now is going to be the time, because you have both head refs and one of the other refs right here to help you understand, answer anything.
There's going to be a bit of a delay, so we'll...
Yeah. The season's going to be good, though. I'm excited for GG. I'm excited to see how our players play at a paintball, like a true to blood paintball field.
Yeah.
That's what I'm excited for.
Well, no shit, you are.
I don't think that one's that bad of a drive for me. It's about the same from Shot Zone.
Yeah, Ethan poses a good point in chat.
Yep.
I think GG's in Missouri, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
I think it's
20, 30 minutes west from
I think it's the same as a drive for Nashville to me.
Yeah. Probably.
But I can stop in Indiana, which will be nice if I leave a day early. So I think I'm driving to that one.
Yeah.
I think most of us are.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what comes out of GG, like new players or new teams. That's what I'm really excited for this year. Is I think with all the travel, we're going to get quite a few more teams at least signed up for one or two events in the league, which I think is going to be really good. And if we pull the Missouri crowd, they're really not that far from Indiana, so they'll have availability to 2 or 3 events.
Yep.
Yeah, and the Speedsoft culture is actually it's not that bad down there. It's actually pretty popular.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Bing's right down, probably 20, 30 minutes away from there. They got a decent Speedsoft crowd there.
I've never been out to Missouri. It's one of the few states I haven't gone to.
I've been through Missouri, but I never really went there to do anything.
Isn't Ruby from there?
Is around there. I think I've been down there for Central Front, the American Milsom, and then when I was traveling for work. It's not a bad area.
GG owners. Yeah, I'm really excited because the GG owner, I've heard nothing but really good things about him.
Mm-hmm.
It's flat. I've heard nothing but really good things about him, and for a paintball field, like a successful paintball field, to kind of be stepping up and stepping in is a ginormous deal. I know it may not sound like it for a lot of our players. It is a ginormous step in the right direction for us.
Yeah.
To get this to look something I mean, like a real pro sport.
And that goes back to the whole sponsorship for teams. Paintball companies that have traditionally done paintball teams are more used to putting money into a team's hand to pay for them to go to events. Whereas a lot of the companies on the airsoft side, there's some of them that are coming up now that are starting to do that, but they're still very new. They're not established enough and don't have enough revenue stream to be able to afford to do that yet. Hopefully that changes, in the coming years. But yeah, getting into a established paintball field with the league is only beneficial to everybody involved, not just the league, but all of the players in the league as well.
And then moving further south with Tampa, Mikey and Garrett, those are the owners of Tampa. Those guys are crazy. They're real supportive people. And CIA is like, I haven't been there, but I've seen so much video from inside of it at this point because I've been looking into it. And it looks like it's going to be a really good time. It's going to be, our only hard bunker this year?
I believe so.
So they're our only hard bunker this year, which is going to be really fun for a lot of teams that play hard bunker traditionally compared to when they come to Shot Zone and we're playing on air. It's going to be a little bit more of home, and I feel like some people who play like Nashville teams that play on hard bunkers 24/7 might have a really good edge there because they play a lot of tournaments on hard bunkers compared to like teams like I don't know. A lot of the teams are Nashville, but I know PBZ mostly plays air bunkers. So it might change up the batting order, if I would, for the season, because Tampa's our last event of the year.
Yeah.
Well, last event for champs. I shouldn't say last event of the year.
Yeah, it's the last regular season event.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. We did it last season, but I guess we can go ahead and cover it. We're doing the same thing like we did last season, where we have the 4 regular season events and then the Championships Cup. And I believe we're still doing the same thing, where as long as you've scored points at a regular season event, you qualify to participate in Championships Cup.
This is possibly the last event or the last year that we're doing that. We're not sure, but we're looking into something. Some teams felt a little bit. Some teams feel like if you just play one event and they spend all the money, blah blah, to come, we had that concern brought up. We are thinking about it and looking into that for teams that are feeling that way. Don't worry about it, but we're actually looking into things that make this all accessible but also fair at the same time.
Yeah,
for everybody involved.
But so that way Championship Cup is something special for the teams that did compete in the league. That's the one there. I think the point scoring is going to be the same. We didn't discuss anything that. Will depend on attendance numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're hoping to bump those up this year. Tell your friends.
Yes, tell your friends. Tell them to make teams and come out.
Yeah. There's a lot of teams that came up midway through last year that I saw like popping up. Because a lot of them, I mean, I run Carnage, so I get a lot of teams like hit me up for sponsors and stuff, and I've thrown a lot of that down for right now. But I see all these teams that are like 6 months old, 3 months old, 4 months old that have just been training. That's all they've been doing. They didn't play any events. They've just been training. And like Neo came up last year, and like they did the same thing. They existed for like 3 or 4 months, trained as much as they could, showed up to Shot Zone, got the real thing.
Yeah.
And then have only grown since then. And I feel like that's going to be a lot this season. A lot. Cutoff is if we have 37 teams show up. Yeah, no. That'd be 2 days, and we don't have that scheduled in.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we could do a 2-day event. Yeah.
If you guys make it so we can have 40 teams at champs, next year we'll do 2 days. How about that?
Yeah.
A lot.
That's a lot of games to run through.
Yeah.
In round robin. That is a lot.
Yeah.
That is 8 a.m. check-in, 10 a.m. start till like midnight. That 2 days. That is a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, if we have 37 teams eligible for like Championships Cup this year, then there would we can't do that. We have to have a limit. If we hit that, it'll be expressed. You guys will be
figure it out.
yeah. Yeah, you guys will be aware of what's going on with that one. So definitely you do want to try to show up to as many events as possible to keep you up higher on that scoreboard.
That leaderboard.
Yeah, keep you high up on that scoreboard. So in the fortunate, I will call it, event that we do end up having the potential for 37 teams to show up, you're guaranteed to get in there. Because Champs is a point scoring event. It's the last point scoring event of the season.
But it's technically an invite only event for teams that were already on the leaderboard before the traditional season ended.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I don't think we have any questions really.
I don't think so either.
Nope.
This will be a good VOD to have around though.
Yeah.
So new teams when this will be good for when new teams come to the league, we can point them this way.
Yep. All right. We'll have posts out on social media and everything. When these rules we discussed here are actually written down in the rule book, probably do another little live stream. Would like to try to do these maybe on a monthly basis if that's possible. Try to interview some teams, stuff like that.
Before events.
Yeah, Also probably do one before an event as well. A little bit more loose format on those after that one, but figured going over some of the rules changes was a good start for the first one. Something for the off season, because I know a lot of people get antsy during the off season.
Yeah, a lot of people are training right now. I've seen quite a bit on Instagram and on a few other things of people just hitting the clock and punching time for training. And it's next season's going to be, I think there's going to be some changes to how this season ended. And I think we're going to have some spots flipping around, and it's going to be a fight all season, which I think is going to be, for the teams, is going to be really interesting. And I think for the people that view this and watch our league, it's going to be even more exciting.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be, I think the actual, this season is going to be crazy. And I'm really excited, looking forward to it.
I am as well. Aiden, you got anything you want to add in here before we get off here?
No, you guys pretty much covered everything that I like to say.
He's just silent and like throwing red flags.
Yeah. I know there's one you're upset about is the GoPro hits. I know you're very upset about that.
No, I actually get the point on that, so yeah. But yeah, no.
Alrighty, well, thanks for watching.